I never thought I'd be the guy posting this kind of story. But here I am, sitting in a quiet apartment that still smells like paint, typing this out because I need to know. Was I the monster? Or was she? Maybe we both were. Let me start at the beginning. Sarah and I met in college. She was the girl who spilled coffee on my textbook during finals week, then laughed instead of apologizing. I married her 6 years later under an oak tree in her parents' backyard. She wore daisies in her hair. I wrote my vows on a napkin because I'm sentimental like that. We had Ellie 2 years after that. Our daughter came out squalling, with Sarah's stubborn chin and my crooked toes. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Then Mom died. Pancreatic cancer. Fast and ugly. I shut down. Sarah said I left her, alone to parent, and maybe she was right. Grief does weird things. I started working late, not because I had to, but because the office was quiet. No photos of Mom on the walls there. Sarah stopped asking where I was. We became roommates who shared a bed. Jake moved in next door 3 years ago, mid-40s, cocky grin, always wearing those stupid boat shoes even in snow. He'd wave from his porch while mowing his lawn shirtless. Just being neighborly, Sarah said when I joked about it. She baked him banana bread when his divorce finalized. He'd bring over craft beer, stay to help with grill nights. I thought nothing of it. Then came the memes. It was a Tuesday. Sarah's phone buzzed on the counter while she poured coffee. A notification lit up the screen. Jake, missed you this morning. I stared at it. Sarah hummed to herself. Scrambling eggs. The message disappeared, replaced by a news alert. I told myself it was a joke. Jake sent weird stuff to everyone, right? The guys at poker night called him Mr. Emoji for a reason. But I started noticing. Sarah's gym sessions went from twice a week to 5. Stress relief, she said. She bought new leggings. Jake's BMW was often gone in the mornings, when I left for work. One night, Ellie crawled into bed with me at 3 a.m. Mommy's phone keeps buzzing, she mumbled. The hotel receipt was the knife. I'd taken Ellie camping for her birthday. Just us, like she'd begged. Sarah claimed she needed quiet time, but the credit card statement showed a $287 charge at the Riverside Inn. When I Googled it, my stomach dropped. Jacuzzi suites, hourly rates. I drove there. The clerk recognized Sarah's photo. Oh, the couple who argued at checkout? Yeah, they were here. Couple. The private investigator cost me half a month's salary. Bald guy named Frank with a voice like gravel. Infidelity's 90% of my business, he said. Don't shoot the messenger. The photos arrived a week later. Sarah and Jake, at a gas station, sharing a bag of chips like teenagers. Sarah's head on his shoulder in a diner booth, the worst one. Jake carrying her into a motel. Her legs wrapped around his waist, her face buried in his neck. She'd worn the necklace I gave her on our 10th anniversary. I didn't scream, didn't throw things. I just sat at the kitchen table. Until the sun went down, those photos fanned out like a tarot deck predicting ruin. When Sarah came home, I didn't let her speak. I slid the picture of the motel toward her. She froze. Then quietly. It wasn't supposed to happen. Were you ever going to tell me? She looked at me like I'd asked the dumbest question alive. You've been checked out since your mom died, Mark. You left me alone. What did you expect? I expected you to fight for us, I thought. But I said nothing. She packed a suitcase that night. Ellie stays with me, she said. Like hell. You'll ruin her. The door slammed. Ellie's cries from her bedroom cracked something in me. That's when I decided. If Sarah wanted a war, I'd bring the artillery. I dug. Emails, texts, bank records. Turns out Jake wasn't just a cheater. He was a liar. His startup was a front. He drained his and Lena's savings, taken loans in her name. Lena showed up at my door one night, eyes hollow. Did you know? She asked. I didn't. But I used it. Lawyers got involved. Sarah wanted full custody, the house, alimony. I subpoenaed Jake's financial records. Turns out he'd paid for their hotels with stolen credit points. Suddenly, Sarah's stability as a mother looked shaky. The court day. God. Sarah wore the dress I bought her for our anniversary. When the judge called Jake a habitual fraudster, she finally cried, not because she was sorry, because she'd lost. Ellie's with me now. Sarah gets weekends. But sometimes when I'm tucking Ellie in, she asks, "Why did you and Mommy break the house?" And I don't know if the ashes in my throat are from the bridges I burned, or the love I didn't. The first night Ellie stayed with Sarah, I drank. Not the classy Mad Men kind of drinking, the kind where you mix whatever's in the cabinet and end up crying into a bowl of Lucky Charms at 2 a.m. Lena called me that night. I let it go to voicemail. She didn't leave a message. 3 days later, she showed up at my door with a cardboard box. Her hair was matted on one side, like she'd slept in her car. "These are yours," she said, thrusting the box at me. Inside, my old college sweatshirt. Sarah used to steal a half-melted candle from our last anniversary dinner, a stack of Ellie's finger paintings. Sarah left them on Jake's porch. "I thought you should have them." I invited her in. We sat at the kitchen table, the same one where I'd confronted Sarah. Lena's hands shook around her coffee mug. "He took everything," she said. "The house, my credit score, my dog. Who steals a golden retriever?" I told her about the PI photos, the motel, the necklace, Sarah's cold shrug. Lena laughed, a sharp, broken sound. "Jake told me they only kissed. Said you were paranoid. Turns out he's just a better liar than I thought. We weren't friends. Just two blowtorched people, huddled in the wreckage. But when she left, she hugged me. Her perfume smelled like Sarah's." Ellie started wetting the bed. "The pediatrician said it was stress. Common in custody shifts," she assured me. But at 3 a.m., scrubbing sheets while Ellie sobbed on the bathroom floor, it felt like failure. Sarah's voice slithered through my head. "You'll ruin her." One Saturday, Ellie refused to get in the car for her mom's weekend. She wrapped herself around my leg, screaming, "Don't make me go!" Sarah leaned against her sedan, sunglasses hiding her eyes. "She's manipulating you," she said. "You're turning her against me." I pried Ellie off me, her fingernails left crescent moons on my wrist. "You'll have fun, kiddo," I lied. As Sarah buckled her in, Ellie mouthed, "I hate you," through the window. I'm still not sure which of us she meant. The revenge porn almost destroyed me. An anonymous email hit my inbox at work. Sarah, Jake, Hotel, Dem P4. I didn't open it, just stared at the subject line until my vision blurred. Then I forwarded it to my lawyer. "It's not illegal if they filmed themselves consensually," she said, "but we can use it to prove alienation of affection. Use it. Like it was a tool, not a grenade." Sarah called me screaming that night. "How dare you send that to the court? Ellie could have seen it." "I didn't leak it, you idiot. Your boyfriend probably sold it for drug money." Silence. Then, "You're sick." The video never went public, but I still see that file name. When I close my eyes, Lena's revenge was quieter. Better. She mailed me a USB drive with no note. On it, spreadsheets of Jake's hidden assets, a secret Airbnb he'd rented under his brother's name, screenshots of him swiping on Tinder the week he'd supposedly begged Sarah for forgiveness. I gave everything to Sarah's divorce. "Lawyer, why?" she asked when they sanctioned her for hiding marital assets. "Why keep hurting me?" I wanted to say. "Because you broke our daughter. Because you turned my grief into your excuse. Because you never even said you're sorry." Said, "You picked the wrong enemy." The night before the final custody hearing, Ellie asked to sleep in my bed. She clutched Mr. Bun Bun, the stuffed rabbit Sarah gave her as a baby. "Does Mommy love Jake more than me?" I tucked the fraying ears under her chin. "She loves you. More than anything." "Then why'd she leave?" The truth clawed up my throat. Because adults are selfish. Because love dies messy deaths. Because sometimes parents fail. I kissed her forehead. "Go to sleep, Bug." In the end, they labeled me vindictive and her unfit. Shared custody became 70-30 in my favor. Sarah got the summer cabin, the one Jake's name was never on. I got the house, the debt, and every silent morning wondering if I'd become the poison I tried to purge. Last week, Ellie drew a family portrait at school. 3 stick figures, her, me, And Lena's golden retriever, who she's weirdly obsessed with now. Sarah's nowhere in it. I should feel victorious. So why do I keep driving past Sarah's apartment at night? Why do I hope the lights are off? Why do I imagine her sitting alone, scrolling through photos of what we lost? Maybe because I'm still doing it too. Ellie started hiding food. I found granola bars stuffed under her mattress, yogurt cups rotting behind her bookshelf. When I asked why, she glared at me with Sarah's exact scowl. Mommy says you don't feed me veggies. Sarah had been taking her to McDonald's every visitation weekend. It's the only thing she'll eat, Sarah argued when I called. Stop controlling everything. But Ellie threw up in the bathtub that night, half-digested fries floating in the water. I held her hair back, my knees digging into the cold tile. Why'd you eat so much, Bug? She wiped her mouth on my sleeve. Mommy said it's our secret. The next morning, I texted Sarah. Stop bribing her with junk food, she replied. Stop bribing her with lies. Lena started showing up more. First, it was dog-sitting Mr. Snuffles while Ellie begged for just one sleepover. Then it was beers on my porch after bedtime. Lena's laugh a little too loud, her hand brushing mine when she reached for the bottle. Don't, I said when she leaned in one night. She pulled back, cheeks flushed. You're not the only lonely one, Mark. I wasn't. But Ellie's nightlight glowed upstairs, and the last thing she needed was another mess. Sarah's apartment burned down, not the whole building, just her unit. Electrical fire, the cops said. She showed up on my doorstep at midnight, reeking of smoke, Ellie's old teddy bear clutched to her chest. Can I stay here tonight? I almost said no. Then I saw the blister on her collarbone, the way her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Ellie woke up screaming when she saw her. Mommy's a ghost. Sarah burst into tears. I put them in separate rooms like feral cats. At 3 a.m., I found Sarah digging through the pantry. Looking for your emergency vodka? I said. She held up a jar of Mom's peach preserves, the last one she'd made before dying. You kept these? Ellie likes them. She unscrewed the lid, sniffed it, and started crying again. I'm sorry about the McDonald's. I didn't forgive her. But I made her coffee. We sat at the table where I'd first seen Jake's text. He left me, she said suddenly. Jake? He said I'm too damaged now. That the custody battle made me ugly. She barked a laugh. Says the guy who owes 80Ks in child support. I should have felt smug. Instead, I felt tired. Where will you go? I asked. She looked at Ellie's school photo on the fridge. I don't know. Ellie wet the bed again that night. Sarah stripped the sheets while I calmed her down. It's okay, Bug. Accidents happen. But you hate accidents, Ellie whispered. Sarah froze in the doorway. Lena brought over a casserole the next day. Heard about the fire, she said, eyeing Sarah's borrowed sweatpants. Sarah crossed her arms. You here to steal my leftovers too? The air turned to knives. Ellie saved it. She sprinted into the room, hugged Lena's legs, then grabbed Sarah's hand. Can Mr. Snuffles have a playdate with Mommy? We ate lukewarm casserole in silence. Jake called me. First time in a year. His number was still blocked, so he used a burner. You win, okay? Just stop turning everyone against me. I didn't start this, I said. Bullshit. You poisoned Lena. You're poisoning Ellie. I hung up. But his words stuck. Poison. Sarah stayed a week, slept on the couch. Ellie drew her a welcome home card with 3 stick figures. Me, her, Sarah. Lena's dog was scribbled out. You can't keep her, Lena warned me. She'll relapse. Relapse to what? Being a terrible person? To you. But when Sarah's insurance money came through, she rented a studio across town. Ellie helped her pack. Don't forget Mr. Bun Bun, she said, shoving the rabbit into Sarah's suitcase. Sarah kissed her forehead. You keep him. I'll visit. Ellie's face crumpled. But you're supposed to stay. That night, I found Sarah sitting in her car down the block. She left when I tapped on the window. Lena kissed me 2 days later. Properly this time. No beer, no excuses. Just us in my driveway after she dropped off Mr. Snuffles. Her mouth tasted like mint and regret. I pulled away. I can't. Because of Sarah? Because of me. She drove off. Ellie asked why I was quiet at dinner. I blamed work. Therapy started, Ellie's idea. Jenny's mom takes her to talk about her feelings, she said, rolling her eyes. The therapist was a soft-spoken woman with dinosaur earrings. Ellie's worried about being bad, she told me after the first session. She thinks the divorce was her fault. Sarah refused to participate. I'm not the one who needs fixing, but Ellie brought home worksheets, mood monsters, and anger volcanoes. She taped them to the fridge, right over Sarah's old grocery lists. I found the pills in Sarah's bathroom. Ellie had a fever during her weekend there. When I went to pick her up early, Sarah's medicine cabinet was open. Antidepressants, Xanax, a half-empty bottle of vodka under the sink. Are you okay? I asked. She slammed the cabinet shut. Get out. Ellie vomited in the car. Mommy. Cried all night, she said. I reported Sarah to the custody judge. Now Ellie won't speak to me. She glares from the back seat, arms crossed, as I drive her to Sarah's supervised visits. The therapist says it's healthy anger. Lena texts sometimes, just photos of Mr. Snuffles. I don't reply. Sarah's lawyer is appealing the custody ruling. And me? I'm sitting here typing this at 1 a.m., wondering if winning was just learning how much I can lose. Ellie ran away. She left a note on her pillow. Gone to Mom. Don't look. The bus fare was stolen from my wallet. Sarah called me hyperventilating when Ellie showed up at her studio. She says you hit her. I've never... I know. She cut in. A pause. But she thinks you did. The therapist called it reactive attachment. I called it a gut punch. Ellie sat on Sarah's floor, gluing macaroni to a photo of me and Lena. He's not my dad anymore, she told the caseworker. Sarah didn't fight me when I took her home, just whispered, she needs help we can't give. Lena showed up. With a suitcase. I'm moving to Phoenix, she said. Mr. Snuffles whined at her feet. Ellie clung to the dog's neck. He can't go. Lena's eyes were red-rimmed. Jake's suing me for defamation, says I ruined his life. You did? I said. So did you. She left the dog. Ellie renamed him Bun Bun Jr. Sarah overdosed a Friday night. Ellie was at a sleepover. The hospital called me as her emergency contact. She listed you as her husband, the nurse said. Sarah's wrists were bandaged. Not from the pills, from punching a mirror. I didn't want to die, she slurred. I wanted to feel something. I held her water cup as she vomited charcoal. Ellie can't see you like this. She grabbed my arm. Remember when she was born? You passed out cold. You laughed so hard you ripped your stitches. She smiled, then cried, then slept. Jake sent flowers to the hospital. Sarah threw the vase at the wall. Tell him I'm dead. I didn't. But I did text him a photo of the shattered glass. He replied, you win again. Ellie drew a new family portrait. Me, Sarah, her, and 3 dogs. She taped it to the fridge. This is us after the apocalypse, she said. We have mutant pets. Sarah moved back in, temporarily. Slept in the guest room. We argued about laundry detergent and bedtime rules. She forgot Ellie's allergy meds. I forgot her black coffee. One night we collided in the hallway. Her hair smelled like coconut shampoo again. Why'd you cheat? I asked. She stared at the floor. I thought you'd never notice. The custody appeal was dropped. Sarah's lawyer cited changed circumstances. I didn't ask what that meant. Lena called from Phoenix. You're letting her stay? She's Ellie's mom. She's a grenade with the pin pulled. Maybe. But grenades can light up the dark sometimes. Last week, Ellie found Sarah's pills. Are you sick? She asked. Sarah knelt, eye level. Yeah, but I'm getting better. Promise? Sarah kissed her palm. Cross my heart. That night, Sarah slept in my bed. Not for sex. Not for love. Because the nightmares come quieter when someone's there. This morning, Ellie said, families are weird. Yeah, I agreed. She fed Bun Bun Jr. a French fry. Can we keep it weird forever? I didn't answer. But maybe. The truce lasted 47 days. Sarah relapsed on a Tuesday. I found her slumped in the shower, empty pill bottles circling the drain. Ellie called 911, her voice eerily calm. My mom's asleep in the water. At the hospital, Sarah begged me not to tell Ellie. She'll hate me. She already does, I lied. Ellie sat in the waiting room, coloring a picture of a house on fire. Is Mommy gonna die? No. Good. She scribbled harder. I need to ask her where my pink socks are. Lena sent a postcard from Phoenix. Found a guy who hates boat shoes. Miss the dog, miss you. Not sorry. Bun Bun Jr. peed on it. Ellie framed it anyway. Jake got arrested. Credit card fraud, finally caught up. Sarah laughed when I told her. Karma's a bitch. You'd know, I said. She threw her Jell-O cup at me. Missed. Ellie ate it. The custody hearing was a funeral without a body. Sarah surrendered parental rights, temporarily. The judge said, "This family's a Mobius strip of dysfunction, Ellie. Drew him as a mood monster." We hung it on the fridge. Sarah moved into rehab. Ellie packed her a care package, toothpaste, a stolen hotel pen, and a photo of us at the zoo. "Tell her I'm not mad," she said. Yet. I drove her to the facility. Sarah hugged her through sobs. "I'll be better, Bug. I promise." Ellie whispered, "You don't have to be." Lena's new guy sent a friend request. I declined. Tonight, Ellie asked, "Is love real?" We were eating pizza on the floor, Bun Bun Jr. stealing pepperonis. Why? Jenny's mom says love's a chemical lie. I thought of Sarah's coconut shampoo, Lena's mint kiss, Jake's smirk as he carried my wife into a motel. Love's real. It's just messy. She wiped grease on her shirt. Like my volcano painting? Exactly. Sarah calls every Sunday. Ellie screens the calls. Last week I drove past Jake's old house, new neighbors. A toddler on a tricycle waved. I didn't stop. If you've been listening to these lines, it means you've been watching me reveal myself. Was I right? Wrong? A little of both? I don't know. But Ellie's laughing in the next room, Sarah's been awake for 90 days, and Bun Bun Jr. just ate a Lego. Maybe that's enough. Thanks for staying till the end. If this mess has kept you blown away, check out my other videos on co-parenting methods, how to survive betrayal, and why you should never trust guys in boat shoes.